Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be showcasing our revolutionary jobs creator script that allows you to easily create new Fivem jobs without ever leaving your game. Providing a great user experience is our top priority, which is why we've designed this script to be as intuitive and user-friendly as possible. No more tedious coding or server restarts. Everything happens right in-game with just a few clicks. Let's start things off by entering the /jobscreator command, which will in turn open up the menu. The first thing you'll see is the dashboard, where all the key stats related to the jobs creator are displayed. One of the standout features is the chart at the bottom, giving you a clear snapshot of which jobs are the most popular. It's a super handy way to quickly see what's trending and where players are spending their time. In the jobs section, you've got everything you need to manage your jobs. Not only can you see all of the jobs you've created with the jobs creator, but you can also easily create new ones right here. The section makes it super simple to sort and search through your jobs, so you can quickly find what you're looking for. Once you've found a job, you can edit, duplicate, share, or delete it, all with just a few clicks. We'll dive deeper into each of these features later in the video, so stick around. Next, let's check out the community section. This is your go-to spot for finding community-made jobs that you can easily import into your server. Let's dive into one of the jobs and take a closer look. Here, we can see the job's description, the supported maps, the language, and how many times it's been imported. As a creator, your goal is to get this number as high as possible, so your jobs consistently rank at the top of the community section. This way, they're more likely to catch the eye of other users. You can also view the code for the items used within the job. When you share a job, all the items are automatically extracted and formatted for you, so there's nothing you need to do. This makes it super easy for others in the community to install and use the job right away. We plan to feature the best community-created jobs right here on our channel. Stay tuned for more details on this in our Discord. Let's now continue and take a look at the settings section. Everything you would typically find in the config file is right here. You can easily tweak any values, and they'll automatically update across the entire server. Another awesome feature you can configure here is global player and vehicle actions. These allow players to perform specific actions regardless of the job they have. Regarding player and vehicle actions, you'll also see action durations. These represent the progress bar times for certain actions, measured in milliseconds. Let's go ahead and change one of them, then apply the update. It's really that simple to customize everything to your liking. Now, moving on to webhooks, you'll notice the main webhook used for logging is displayed here. This webhook captures key events and actions happening through the job's creator, providing a detailed log of everything related to job activity. You can also customize which specific logs are sent to the main webhook and job-specific webhooks by toggling them on or off. This gives you complete control over the type of information each webhook receives. Let's take a look at the final tab, called History. This section gives you a detailed view of all the changes made by admins through the Jobs Creator menu. You can see exactly what modifications were done, when they were made, and who made them. This feature is especially useful for server owners who want to stay on top of admin actions and ensure that everything is running smoothly. Before we dive into the details of editing a job, let me show you how simple it is to copy zones between jobs. This copy and paste feature is available almost everywhere in the jobs creator, making it incredibly user-friendly and efficient. For example, I'll take a crafting zone from the mafia job and paste it directly into the police job. After that, all you need to do is tweak the location. No need to manually re-enter recipes or settings. It's a huge time saver and keeps everything running smoothly. Now, let's move on and create our first job. Start by entering the job's name and label, then simply confirm to finalize the creation. The job has been successfully created, and it comes with the boss grade by default. Now, let's begin editing the job. And the first thing we'll see is the General section. We can see that the job's name is no longer editable, but we're free to change the label as we wish. Next, we have some framework-specific options. The settings you see will vary based on your framework. The final option here is the job's webhook. This allows you to add a webhook collected from your players, so they can also receive logs and updates about their job if needed. Moving on to the job's grades, let's kick things off by adding other grades besides the one and only boss grade. Just fill in the grades label and salary and press Add Grade. Let's also move the newly created grade to the lowest position in the hierarchy. Now, let's go ahead and enable all player and vehicle actions for the purpose of this video. You also have the option to set a required item for some of these actions, adding an extra layer of customization. That wraps things up here. I'll go ahead and press Save Actions and hop back in game to show you how everything works in action. I'll first try the search function. Keep in mind that most inventory scripts require the target player to have his hands up in order to search him. We're done with actions, so now let me walk you through all the different zones you can add to this job. Let's start with Blips. Simply click the Add Blip button and a modal will pop up. From there, you can select the coordinates directly in-game, making the whole process smooth and effortless. Fill out the rest of details and you'll see that your newly created blip is now visible on the map. Next, we have boss menus, where you'll see several configuration options. I'll guide you through setting up an advanced boss menu with multiple props that you can place wherever you like. The props are, of course, optional. You can also simply add the interaction points within your MLO. I'll now enter in some offsets for each of the props. Feel free to copy them from this video if you want to achieve a similar setup. I forgot to mention that the boss menu can be easily integrated with external scripts. Just place the export in the editable file and you're good to go. Let's now place it into our designated location and rotate it by using the scroll wheel. Now, let's move on to Cloakrooms. Here, you can create new Cloakrooms that integrate with your preferred appearance script. Just fill in the details, place the interaction point, and you're all set. Another standout feature is the collecting. It's highly customizable, allowing you to create collection points that can be depleted and will automatically replenish after a set duration. This is ideal for jobs like the winery, where resources need to be gathered and managed over time. We can also define an animation or a scenario to play while harvesting. Another feature to keep in mind is spawner zones. They have a very similar use case to collecting, but they are a bit more complex. Let me show you how to set them up correctly. You'll need to specify a prop model that will appear within the zone. Typically, this would be something like a plant or a similar object, depending on the type of spawner zone you're setting up. As you can see, locations come with more than just coordinates. You'll also need to configure additional parameters such as the radius, the spawn interval, and the maximum number of props that can appear at once. Let's also add a nice scenario to play while harvesting the plant. And boom! The plants are now spawning in and we can finally start harvesting them. Next, we have crafting. To show you how customizable it is, let's set up a weapons bench that you could easily use in your Mafia job. Let's jump into the recipe section and start adding a few weapons. And remember, you can also add blueprints for any weapon since we've already set up all the blueprint items for you. Let's also add a nice animation with a prop to play while crafting the weapon. No need to stress about the specific offsets and rotation I'm entering here. There are plenty of animations available online that you can easily plug in whenever you need them. The last thing missing is the bench prop and the location. Let's add those in and test out our new crafting. As you can see, the prop is positioned a bit higher than it should be. No worries, just go back, adjust the Z offset to -1 and reselect the location. That should fix it. Let's move on to the job garages. The first thing that we'll have to figure out is the vehicle type and the type of garage. The different garage types are normal, buy, and temporary. You also have the option to share the vehicles between the employees, which is most relevant when using the buy garage type. Let's go ahead and add a few police vehicles, set their prices, and if you'd like, you can also add optional vehicle properties in JSON format. Vehicle properties allow you to change stuff such as the vehicle livery, color, and much more. Let's take a closer look at the garage locations. You'll need to input both the interaction coordinates and the vehicle spawn coordinates to set everything up correctly. We'll also be using it alongside a pedestrian for a more interactive experience. The garage is now created, so let's try to buy a vehicle and take it out of the garage. Next up is selling. Selling is a great feature that allows players to sell their hard-earned items. I'll set it up so a percentage is allocated as a commission to the player, and the rest will go to the society account. The employee percentage is a fantastic feature that streamlines payouts. Instead of the boss having to manually distribute earnings, employees automatically receive their share immediately after each purchase. Now, simply add the items, set the minimum and maximum price points, switch the currency to society, and you're all set. To finish things off, add a negotiating animation and a pedestrian so the interaction is more immersive. I'll now sell a few items to show you that we get our hard-earned commission. Now let's take a look at shops. Start by clicking the Add Shop button and filling in the required details. You can add any items you want. Just enter the item name, price, and adjust the currency, and you're good to go. Next, let's move on to creating a stash. This step requires a bit more input, as you'll need to configure values like the number of slots, maximum weight, and whether the stash will be shared among employees. You also have the option to define the stash's internal name, but I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you plan to modify it after items have been stored. Alarms are a fantastic feature for adding more dynamic RP to your server, so let me walk you through how to set them up. I recommend giving it a red button prop to make the whole thing more immersive. Now that's all set up, we can finally trigger the alarm. Just press the button and it will automatically send an alert to your preferred dispatch script. Another feature that will enhance roleplay on your server is cash registers. They allow your job to take in payments without relying on a billing script. Similar to selling, you can also allocate a commission to the employee here. Let me quickly show you how accepting the payments works in practice. The players can pay with cash or through their bank account. As you can see, we've successfully received the commission and the rest has been deposited to the society account. Now it's time to introduce a really powerful feature called animation zones. These let you create static points where players can perform specific animations. A perfect example would be sittable chairs, dance poles, and more. When configuring these zones, take your time, as there are plenty of options available. We designed it this way to offer maximum customization and flexibility. Next, let's take a look at music players. These allow you to stream your favorite songs directly from YouTube for everyone to hear. It's a fantastic feature to set the mood and elevate the atmosphere inside nightclubs on your server. The final feature we'll cover in this video is teleports. These are perfect for when you want to make better use of IPLs and shells on your server. Just enter the basic details, set the entrance and destination coordinates, and you're all set. You can also adjust the player's routing bucket once they're inside to utilize this feature to its maximum potential. I'll just set 0 for the routing bucket as that's the default one all players reside in. Let's now go back and test the teleport out. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and get the script now with 15% off discount on lunarscripts.tbex.io.